James is standing 10 meters away from Samantha. Whenever a problem starts like that and you're thinking, why in the world do I care? And they start telling you numbers, you probably should draw a picture. Let's start drawing. Here's James. Here's Samantha. We're going to call him J because that's what James starts with. We're going to call her S because her name is Samantha. Okay, and there is $10, yeah, right, 10 meters between James and Samantha. Okay, now before you read all this and get all mixed up about this bird that's somehow hovering in the sky, it's weird. Yeah, don't panic. A bird is located in the sky at a point between where James and Samantha are standing, and for some reason this bird is hovering to the point where they're able to measure their angles. Apparently it's a hummingbird, or I don't know what kind of bird it would be that does this, but there's this bird up. Now I can't draw. Don't make fun of me. There's this bird. Now, the obvious thing you could say here is, well, it's kind of like a turtle with two legs, first of all. Second of all, it doesn't have his wings out, but if he's just hovering, then that's all we need. Anyway, there's our bird. You can draw it any old way you want to, as long as he's above James and Samantha. Now, you stare at this long enough, you're going to realize you have a triangle. So, James is looking up. To simplify things, we're going to have him looking up from his feet. It's about as realistic as a hovering bird, but here goes. Let's do it. So, here's our triangle. And we're going to start putting some more numbers in here, and then we'll decide what we need to do, and we'll go from there. So, bird is located in the sky at a point between where James and Samantha are standing. So, it's between them, and it's in the sky, just kind of floating. It had a lot of helium, so it doesn't go chirp, it's like chirp. James is looking up at the bird at an angle of 74 degrees. 74 degrees over where James is, and Samantha is 47 degrees. All right, I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again. Check it out. This is going to involve trig. You have angles, they're in degrees. Press mode again. Even if you know you're in degrees, press mode again. Double check. Make sure you're in degrees. If you have it in radians, you're going to miss it. And you're going to go home crying. Approximately how far is the bird from Samantha? So they're asking for this, the distance between B and S. Let's avoid the obvious jokes with those two letters. We're going to find out this distance right here. Now, I was about to call it X. I'm actually going to call it little j. And I'm going to call this side little b. And I'm going to call this side little s. But we really don't even need that side. Okay. Let's decide what we can do. Okay, we have three options when it comes to trig and solving triangles with trig. We can use right triangle trig, that's our first option, but I'll go ahead and tell you there are no right angles here, so this is not right triangle trig. We can use the law of sines if we know an angle and a side across from it, if we have at least one pair, like 74 and J, like if we knew what J was, or if we knew B and little b, or if we knew big S and little s, then we could use the law of sines, or we can use the law of cosines. Now, based on what I just said, it sounds like we breezed over the law of sines, but let's come back to it. That is our option, and here's why. 180 minus 74 minus 47 will very easily give us B. We don't have to work too hard for it, and there it is. And now we do have a pair of angle and side. So because of that, we're going to use the law of sines. Will they give us the formula for law of sines, Mr. Reader? I don't know. But you don't even need it, because you know it. You're looking for J, right? Now let me pause right here and say something. It asks about the distance between the bird and Samantha, so you're probably like, oh, it's looking for S. No, it's looking for the distance between the bird and Samantha, which is across from James. So you're looking for little j. Even though James is not in the sentence, you're looking for little j. Looking for little j, and you know big B and little b, so we're going to do sine of B over B, and that's equal to, looking for j, so it's going to be sine of big J over little j. So let's start filling in some numbers. Sine of 59 over 10 is equal to sine of 74 over J. We're going to cross multiply. When we do, we end up with 10 times the sine of 74, and that's equal to sine of 59 times j. I'll put the j in the front. We will divide by the sine of 59. Before we even touch a calculator, sometimes people grab the calculator once they see that. Let's not, unless you know exactly what you're about to type, but I needed to kind of show you a little bit first. So the sine of 59, everything's in degrees here. So we're going to type that in the calculator, and we're going to get an answer. And we'll be happy. 10 sine 74 divided by sine 59. There we go, 11.2 meters. J is 11.2 meters. The answer is C. We have found it.